Hey there, Leo. Welcome to your reading for the week of January 24th. We're going to jump right in here, Leo, and see what is going on for you. Also, this is going to be part 1. There will be a part 2 to this reading, and that will be linked up down below. So, let's see here. This is already looking amazing for you, Leo. Look at this. 2 aces. Are you kidding me? And the Wheel of Fortune. Damn. Leo, this is definitely a good reading for you. There is some sort of improvement. You have this excitement card and you have this reward card, this basket card, which represents like some sort of reward coming in for you. This is an amazing reading. I feel like this is pretty simple. I think it's just kind of like saying you are receiving rewards for all your hard work. It's pretty obvious to me. You have the 8 of Pentacles here, and again, the 8 of Pentacles would be results for your hard work or all your efforts, and that's kind of like what I'm feeling for you here. Is that there could be rewards for all your efforts or all your hard work that you've been putting into things, and that's how I'm seeing this. 8 of Pentacles is like work that you have done. You start off here. With this bison card, it says ritual on it. So I don't really feel like you're performing a ritual. 2 aces is like a major new beginning. And the ritual with this card is like some sort of daily practice. And you're like the second or third sign that has had something about either creating a daily practice or doing something on a daily basis. I mean, plain and simple, I think that's always good advice in general. I mean, like literally every single day I make one improvement to this channel, and that's how I've gotten it to like 600,000 subs now. I'm like always doing something to try for an improvement. I would say like, 99% of my ideas don't work, but like the 1% of the things that I do that do work so well that it makes it makes trying every single day worth it. And I kind of feel that for you here. That's why I'm telling you this. If you have a business, a job, a career, even in your relationship, there's no reason you can't like try to improve things in a relationship or a business or whatever. I would definitely be doing that with that card. You have the Ace of Pentacles, the Hierophant, and the Ace of Wands in this row. Let me just push this up here a little bit. And the Ace of Pentacles is like a big opportunity that comes in for you. It's like Ace of Pentacles is a good card, but something I think people forget about the Ace of Pentacles is it does require work. It's not just like, it's good, right? But if you do nothing with this, it's going to go nowhere. And we even see that here. We go 4 cups to the 8 of Pentacles. Like 8 of Pentacles is literally saying that you're going to have to put the work in, as I always say, to make this happen. But if you do, 8 of Pentacles is material success on the horizon. It says you will see results very quickly if you put the work in. So I do feel like there's an opportunity here. There could actually be a good love opportunity. Ace of Pentacles, Hierophant, and the Ace of Wands. Very passionate new beginning with a person. And the Ace of Wands would be a lot of growth. Hierophant is marriage or whatever you want. I always say not everybody wants to get married nowadays, which is totally fine, right? Like we don't need a piece of paper from the government. I'm all about it. So trust me, I'm all about not supporting the system. But what I would say here is that it could just be a commitment that you want. This is also, again, you always get the Hierophant, and because I feel like you are one of the signs that is going to benefit the most from any type of education, even I would say self-education actually, beyond anything. If you're going out and learning something on your own, like especially in work or business or career, there's going to be a lot of success in that for you. Especially with this energy. You have this Vesta card here, and this card says Hearth on it. So, number one, it's kind of like a card that can represent your home, but I feel like a fire needs to be fed. I feel like you need to keep feeding the fire. And it's like this daily practice. And I mean, that's basically how I view it for this channel. It's like I just keep throwing wood on the fire. I just keep trying to build the energy, right? And I kind of feel that for you. It's like eventually I feel like the fire will feed itself. But for right now, you have the 8 of Pentacles again in this reading, which I'm seeing as your outcome. And the 8 of Pentacles really says that you're going to have to work on something every single day to make it work. And yeah, that might sound like a lot of work, but really it's not. I feel like it's going to be worth it for you to put the work in. Same thing in a relationship as well. It's like you could be attracting a relationship into your life, and I would just put the work in to make it a good relationship. You have the Wheel of Fortune, the 4 cups, and the 6 of cups here. 6 of Cups, it's like something is being protected. I even feel it with that Vesta card there. It's like, on this card, I'll just show you. It's like the fire is being protected by this gazebo or whatever is going on there, whatever that is, I don't know, but it's being protected. These children are being protected inside these castle walls, and they're also being protected by this guard that's over here on the card. So I really, you could look at that as yourself, the guard, and you could say that you're kind of protecting some childhood dreams, and that's kind of what I feel for you. It's like things haven't turned out exactly how you thought they would from your childhood dreams. It's like you thought your life was going to go one way, maybe it's gone another. I think this is like the story of your life, basically, Leo. I feel like I say this every single reading. It's like your perception, it's like I feel like you have this perception of like how things should be, you know, in your mind. I think we all do. It's like, I'm not calling you out here, but it's like the outside world, I feel like very rarely meets that perception. It's like, you know, inside your head. And is that a bad thing? I would say no. I mean, I think it could be exciting, number one. It could lead to more excitement. It's like, you never know what you're going to get. You know, life is like a box of chocolates, as they say, Leo. And Forrest Gump, best movie ever. Actually, I would say Jurassic Park is the best movie ever, but, you know, Forrest Gump is pretty close. And what I would say here is that, you know, I feel in a lot of ways, it's like saying that maybe... it's like you're manifesting things, right? Sorry, I'm babbling at this point, but it's like you're manifesting things in front of you, but because it doesn't match your perception of how things should work in your mind, it's like you're a little bit disappointed. I feel like this reading is like saying, don't do that. I feel like this reading is saying, it's like, yeah, things don't match your perception. Maybe you put work into relationships and it doesn't match your ideas, your kind of like how you think things should go, and same thing in like work, business, money, whatever. It's like you think things should be a certain way. That's how it's popping into my head. I would like release the need for things to be a certain way. You know, these are your expectations. And I feel sometimes like our expectations can get in the way of our own success. If we have no expectations and things just start moving forward and we just allow things to happen, then, you know, things work out. It's definitely one of those things. There are a lot of spiritual teachers who say no expectations. There are plenty of people who talk about it, right? Even Kyle Cease, one of my favorite people of all time. Same thing. He says no expectations. I agree with it, but I think it's hard not to have expectations because we all have expectations. We're, you know, humans, right? But next, you have this firecracker. It says excitement. In this basket, it says recognition, reward for merit, meaning you are receiving rewards or you are earning something for the work that you have already done, which we said with the Eight of Pentacles. It's like you've already done the work and now you're receiving the rewards for your hard work. You have the Emperor, the King of Cups, and the Eight of Pentacles. In a lot of ways, I feel like you are the King of Cups in this reading. Again, I understand that the King of Cups represents a fire sign. I mean a water sign. Just messed up. But what I am saying is that is the energy that is embracing you, is the King of Cups, or that you are embracing. It's like a very strong emotional control. Even the Emperor, he kind of sometimes doesn't show emotions. He's more about action. And on the Eight of Pentacles, this is a card of mastery, and he's only working on one thing. One pentacle. And here you go. You have the Ace of Pentacles, Four Cups to the Eight of Pentacles. I feel like this is saying things that you're working on, it's like the outcome might not be exactly how you're seeing it in your head or how you do see it in your head, but I feel like you need to keep pushing forward anyway, because it's like you're going to get results. The Eight of Pentacles, he just is head down. He doesn't care. He's just putting in the work. He doesn't care about the result, right? He's just working. And then because of that, he eventually gets the result because he's put in enough work. So I kind of feel like this is definitely a hard work reading. There are rewards coming in for you, clearly. I feel like this Wheel of Fortune is talking about like a turnaround that is coming in for your life. I feel like we skipped the Wheel of Fortune. I feel like I didn't talk about that Wheel of Fortune at all. It's almost like it just like I zoned out. And so it's almost like that is kind of being blocked out from the reading. Let's ask about the Wheel of Fortune before we move on to part 2. Because I do want to see, like, can we get more details on that Wheel of Fortune? You have the Hermit. You always get the Hermit every single reading I do for you. Hermit is a card of learning and shining your inner light. I always say, Leo, that you are definitely one of the signs that's becoming an example for other people. So don't be afraid to shine your inner light, or don't be afraid to shine what you have learned, right? You have the Justice card, cause and effect. Could be a Libra coming in for some of you. So if you're looking for love, I do feel that there could be a Libra coming in for some of you. I also feel like this has to do with your perception. I would actually say that this is one of those readings where I really feel it's a reading that has to do with your perception, how you perceive things, how you see things, especially with that Four of Cups. It's like he is manifesting these cups in front of him on the Four of Cups. It's like he has manifested those things. You can see right here, he's getting the cup out of the cloud, but he's not accepting it because it doesn't look exactly how he wants it to. Same thing with the Justice card. Justice, it not exactly the same, but it kind of says, as long as you're moving forward, who cares like how you get to the finish line? Who cares how you find your success? The Justice card, the Justice person here is also willing to look at both sides. The Justice card, sometimes I think with the Four Cups, we can kind of put these boundaries in place that don't need to exist for whatever reason. I don't know, I've done it a bunch of times. And it's like where I'll be like working towards something, like towards success on YouTube or whatever. And I'm like, I'll never do that. Like, I'll never create my own thumbnails. I'll never do this or that. It's like I even get comments about like my titles sometimes, which I just never listen to anyway, but people say my titles are too clickbaity. I'm like, yeah, but here's the thing. It's like I take the time to go through my videos and to come up with a good title. It's like part of my job on YouTube. I mean, sorry if this offends you, is to get as many views as I possibly can. That's the whole point of YouTube. And it's like, yeah, it offends some people, but it's like you could not take the time to do it and not get very many views, or you could take the time to do it and get a lot of views. It's like, why do we have these artificial, constraints in our head? Why do we worry about like what two bozos think in the first place, right? I feel like this, I'm telling you this because I feel like that's where you are right here. And with this Justice card, it's like there could be some of those things where you're saying, I'll never do this. Again, I've gotten comments from other readers. They're like, I'll never do clickbait. I'm like, okay, have fun with 100 subscribers and like no viewers. It's like, yeah, I understand it, but it's like you're making a moral issue out of something that isn't moral in the first place. And again, trust me, for years, if you go back to my old videos, they basically had no title. I would just be like Pisces, I would just be like Taurus or whatever. And so, like, is it really a moral issue? I don't think so. My titles have to do with the video, right? Are they maybe a little bit sensational? Sure. So I feel like you're doing something like that in your life, right? That's why I'm giving you this example and talking about myself, because I feel like there are some things where it's like you could be making a moral issue out of something that isn't moral, that really doesn't matter. And actually really, again, I think people who take the time to create good titles, it actually shows that they put more work into what they're doing. So I feel like there's something there. Because I'm going on and on about this. And again, it's not about me, it's about you. And I want to make that very clear. So it's like there's something in your life where it's like maybe you're thinking that there's some sort of, you're creating this like kind of artificial barrier that just doesn't exist, especially in work or business. Justice is cause and effect. It's, again, if things are moving forward, keep moving in that direction. There will be a reward for you. Boom, Star. Star says your reason why is what you need to work towards. Star is a card of kind of motivation, hope, renewal, and faith, but it's really a card of your North Star. It's needing to focus or have a reason why you are doing something. Then, if people have something to say about your titles or, sorry, did I just turn it off? No, we're good. If people have something to say about whatever it is that you're doing in your life, it doesn't matter because it's like you have a bigger goal in mind. You're working towards something. And I kind of feel like you need that, Leo. It's like maybe you want love, but people in your life have something to say about it. It's like, well, it's like maybe they don't have love, right? It's like, I don't know. I've just like had some people in my life recently even who, it's like they have very strong opinions about things like love, for example, and how they think it should look. And there's someone very specific I'm thinking about. An old friend of mine, right? But they don't have love in their life. They're like the most miserable person I've ever met in my entire life. And, it kind of hit me the other day. And I was like, you know what? They're super freaking miserable. And they have all these ideas, whether they're right or wrong. They have all these ideas about love, but they're also miserable. And they have no love in their life. And they push people away as well. So it's like, who cares what, someone thinks is what I'm trying to say. With that Star card, I'd be more focused on your why, not everybody else. Definitely popping into my head. There's definitely a lot of success for you. And I love when you get the Hermit and the Star together, by the way, because the Hermit, he has the Star in his lantern right there. It's like the same thing as the Star that he's shining. And then you have the Star. So it's like you are shining your inner light. You are shining your star out into the universe, which is exactly what you should be doing. And not worrying about what other people think is what this is saying. You're like the second sign that's had this month, which is very interesting. Sometimes I think maybe retrogrades bring out the, people kind of like the judgments and things like that. So, it could be like your parents or it could be friends or people in your life who are being very judgmental. And I kind of pick that energy up at the end here where you could be experiencing some judgmental energy. But it's like, I think you need to see it that you have something and they don't. They're just jealous, right? This is like jealousy energy that I'm picking up on. Pretty interesting. I would keep feeding the fire, like I said, of something positive in your life, not this over here. We're going to move on to part 2. Part 2 will be linked up in the pinned comment down below, so definitely check out part 2. But thank you for being here, Leo, and I will see you in part 2.